Hi, Chelsea. How you going?
Hi, I'm good, and you?
Better fine, but rain isn't falling and sun is shining, so I can't complain. Right. So, Chelsea, tell us a little bit about the business. We want to dive right into it.
Sure. So, MoodTT by AC is a raw material supplier right here in Trinidad and Tobago. So, we supply raw materials for persons that are creating candles, soaps, anything body care wise. We supply all the raw materials for it. That's basically it in a nutshell.
So, what do people usually ask for when you say raw
Um,
materials? So understand.
Mainly, what they ask for is more like candle supplies, more soap supplies, because what we have noticed is in Trinidad and Tobago, candles and soaps are more of the hype as opposed to other body care items. However, as of recently, body scrubs is the new in.
All right. Right. Nice. So I think what got you into this business?
Um, I would have to say now I don't want to blame it on COVID, but I will blame it on COVID. So during COVID, I was looking for ways to occupy myself and scroll. Well, at the point in time, everybody was using TikTok, so TikTok was the thing. So I would be scrolling on TikTok and be seeing all these beautiful candles and watching all these TikTokers just create all these amazing things because during COVID is actually when entrepreneurship in the handmade industry started to boom, right? And there are a lot of videos, and for some reason, I found myself wanting to create candles for myself. So I started dabbling. Within dabbling, I realized that, hey, candle making is like so much. There's so much things that goes into candle making. So what I did was I purchased my first kit. I purchased a DIY kit locally here in Trinidad. And what I did was I created my first set of candles and realized, hey, what's going on with my candles? My candles are not burning properly. Then delving further and further into it, I realized that I need to invest more time into creating these particular candles. So from there, I actually started my learning journey into candles. So I started in candles. I started to certify myself more and more into candles. So I now have a diploma in candle making. So I just continued, and with all the trends that were happening continuously, I kept on doing courses to just be in the know for it. So that's how MoodTT actually started. So yeah.
And then how did you transition to where you are now?
Yes. So after the candle making, what I realized, I did my first pop-up market in C3. And what I was doing at the point in time was I was retailing all of our waxes and fragrances and stuff like that, right? And people started coming to me, hey, do you offer bulk in this, or do you have larger quantities in your oil? And that's basically where Mood took off. We were actually online for a year, and I realized that we could not handle the amount of clients that were coming to us, and we could not handle the amount of orders that we had to push out. And the very next year was when we got our very own space and we opened up the physical store.
Right, and I think if you look into where your business is at now, I think sometimes opportunities for entrepreneurs is stepping back in your value chain.
Yeah.
Because you never know, it may be so packed in terms of people doing the same thing in this line of the value chain, but nobody's really thinking about the suppliers of this and capturing that market as opportunities from there. So I think I want to commend you for that I guess, that transition and seeing the opportunity, which is entrepreneurship in itself.
Yes.
And I think everybody COVID either for starting a business or restarting a new business. Right. So I had a look at your survey. So for those listening, for 2025, we're really doing the Entrepreneur per Corner for a lot of the entrepreneurs who completed these surveys for us. I had a look back at your survey. I think one of the highlights for you for 2024 was that wasn't solely the business growth or the brand growth, but really your self-development as well and your self-growth.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So throughout the years, with Mood, every year or every day, you learn something different about yourself. You learn something different about your business. There are certain times in your business life as well as personal, where you have those learning moments, and then you have those aha moments. For me, in 2024, 2024 was actually my biggest learning year personally, because what I learned for myself is that I kept on going, pushing, trying to bring in what all the clients are asking for, not being able to take time for myself. So like, what a lot of persons don't know is that, yes, Mood opens 9 to 4, Tuesday to Saturday, but at night or when we close, I am actually, or the team is actually up from 4 p.m. all the way down to around 3 a.m. in the morning. And I realized that I was actually draining myself. And what I learned last year is that I need to take time. Yes, you have a business. You need to take time for yourself to understand yourself, because those alone times is what helps you to be creative. It helps you to grow as an individual, and it helps you to just build upon yourself. So taking a little step back, not trying to go all the time. That's what I learned in 2024. So I came into 2025 knowing that, hey, I am going to make sure that I take time for myself. However, I still have, this, I'm trying to time manage as much as possible now.
Yeah, I think I guess the biggest balancing act as an entrepreneur. Making time for the business and making time for yourself, and so much that the business tends to win.
Yeah.
And sometimes you even feel, I guess, a sense of you're letting the business down by taking care of yourself. But really and truly, only way that the business would reach any further is for you to take care of yourself first. And I think that is sometimes one of the misunderstood things about entrepreneurship. They say you need to go hard 24/7, and then you realize that you burn out, and the business itself is losing because of that. Right? Your customers start to deteriorate because you're now becoming so lack of sleep now means that you're responding to customers a little bit more angry, a little bit angrier than they do. So all those things build into it. So if you had to offer a piece of advice for entrepreneurs about taking that little self-care into your business structure, what would you say?
Into your business structure, set times for yourself and set times for your business, and be strict about it. Don't go back on your word, and please, because we as entrepreneurs, what we try to do is, once a message comes in on either a social media platform, as soon as it comes in, be it 1 a.m., 12 in the night, we will be messaging a customer all hours of the night. So try to set a time structure for yourself where, hey, okay, these are my business hours, and I will work within these business hours, and try not to exceed those business hours.
Yeah, I think even in those business hours, make sure you kind of set a me time, right? This is time for you, right? So you can probably center yourself, whatever you do. If you're doing yoga, if it might just be tea, or whether take a walk, it might be an exercise time. Make sure you carve out that space for yourself from there. So where do you see business at in the next 5 years? I'll give you a little stretch thinking.
So I do have an entire mood board that I created for 2025. So I actually want to see Mood expand into at least 2 more locations in Port of Spain and in South. So I am hopeful that it happens, and if it happens, all praise to the Almighty.
And where are you located now? That's a shameless plug.
We are located in Charleville, Shogunas.
Nice. All right. And you usually do pop-ups. Do you still do the pop-up shops?
So no, we don't do pop-ups now, just because we have the physical store and we also have like a delivery service. So like if persons order from us, the couriers deliver to them, or you could come in and shop.
Okay, nice. So you talked about the mood board for 2025. You mind telling us a little bit what's on there? Well, it's offering entrepreneurs to create their own.
Yes, I will encourage persons to create their own, because it's a nice feeling when. So I have a little thing that I do. So when I create a mood board for the year, on our anniversary, which is November the 1st, I would go to that mood board and I would tick off everything that I would have completed doing. So it makes you feel as though, hey, I accomplished so much without looking at the mood board, and I basically just did it. I did it. And what it allows you to do is reevaluate yourself with the things that you would not have done, and try to sit down with yourself and say, okay, this is what I did not get to complete in 2024, 2025, and this is what I'm going to try to complete in the very next year.
Yeah, and I think a good part of it is make sure that you have some small wins inside there, so that you can celebrate small wins. As we talked about the self-care, and I think that's a good way of building in the self-care into it, right?
Yes.
On your mood board, plans different areas that you can say, hey, we've achieved this, we've achieved this. Let's go out and celebrate. And especially if you have a team of persons working with you as well, everybody can share one vision. I think that is great. So, what's your current challenge now as an entrepreneur?
I would have to say logistics. In terms of import, every year that goes by, there's something different that's happening. In terms of importation. So like this year, we had a little setback with the new laws that were introduced in terms of importations from various countries into Trinidad and Tobago, and it's a little bit disappointing, because sometimes I don't know if other persons feel this way, but I feel this way. When I have to say no to a customer, I literally go to a corner in my office and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, because these customers depend upon us for a certain product and we can't deliver at this time because of the situations that are happening. However, there's always a ray of light. When I explain this to our customers, they're like, oh my gosh, Chelsea, you need to stop worrying and you need to relax and you need to say, well, okay, everything is going to happen in its own time. And so logistics for sure, in terms of shipping, that's my main problem at the moment.
Yeah, sometimes as an entrepreneur, especially if it's things outside of your control, it's like you're kind of powerless, because as an entrepreneur, you use the problem solve, right? But sometimes problems are created outside of what you're able to solve as well, and it's a matter of now figuring out a new alternative. And I guess that comes with the territory, right? It's not just posting on social media. It's not that these things. It's the back end stuff that people don't see, sometimes that is really where the work comes in.
Yeah.
So I want you a challenge, right? Could you give me 5 things? Let's say you have to start a business tomorrow, next week. Let's say next week, right? We will let Valentine's pass. Let's say next week, Monday, right? You have to start a business. What 5 things do you need to start any business currently? Let's put aside finance, right? It can be either a specific talent you have. It could be people. It could be, you remember that game, people, animal, place thing, right?
Yeah.
So what things do you need in order to get that business off the ground on Monday?
So if I need to get a business off the ground on Monday coming, for sure I would need the people, the staffing, that is. I would need the location. I know you said put aside the finances, but we would need the stock for sure. And what else? Probably a website as well as I don't know if shelving is going to be a thing, but I'm hoping shelving is going to be a thing. However, I have a point to make. Is it weird to say that if it is, I have to do this all over? If I had to create a business, that I would love to do this all over again.
That's fine, right? You had to click the restart button, and that's fine, right? I think, is there anything, I think the business started in 2019, 2020?
2019.
2019, right? If you had to go back to your 2019 self, right, getting into this business, what's that one piece of advice would you tell them in terms of that starting?
When people tell you no, you say yes.
Okay, nice. Right, except when they can't deliver like you wanted to say no.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's overcoming doubt, and don't let that external doubt become self-doubt. And I think that is a good way to put it there as well.
Yes.
So Chelsea, thank you for having a little time with us. I think it's been 20 minutes here, about 20 minutes here. All right. Any last minute word you want to leave with persons, as well as let people know where they can find you and how they can connect with you as well?
Sure. So for persons that want to get into entrepreneurship and you have 2 minds about it, I'll just leave it with some words from one of my lecturers. Just do it. Any words I think is Nike, I believe. Yeah. Just do it, because you'll never know if you try. And once you try and it becomes successful, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I should have listened to myself and started way earlier. So start if you're getting into entrepreneurship, whatever it may be, just start. Start small, it will grow, and you'll eventually reap the benefits from it. And in terms of where we are located in Pier Road, Charleville. We are on the main road, no side streets. There's a MoodTT sign out front, and you could always call us at 338-5617, and we could always send you a pin. And you can find us on social media, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Right. Awesome. And well, I was supposed to ask about the logo, because I really love the logo. All right, so tell us about the logo and how it came about before we end off.
The logo came about
behind her, right?
Because
I just say for folks listening, that's the logo behind it.
Yes. The logo came about because the AC in our name is actually stands for artisans and culture, and we are a diverse country. And when I saw the colors, because we deal with so many beautiful colors in Trinidad and Tobago, and being to all of those pop-up markets and seeing the amazing products that local artisans create, we went with an entire colorful team to represent all of our cultures and all of our artisans right here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, great. So Chelsea, thanks for joining us. Well, I
Thank
hope
you.
it's a 3 a.m. kind of day, right? Right. But really, congrats on all the success. So it's with what, 6 years in business now? It's 5 years going on 6 in business.
Yes.
It seems shorter than that, right? Right. But all the best on your journey, and feel free to connect with YBTT anytime that you need some support from there. But most importantly, just keep doing what you're doing, right? Remember the self-care, remember what
Yes.
the business started, and remember there's always an opportunity. And when people say no, turn it into a yes. And don't let
Yes.
that other doubts become your doubts. Right? So folks, as always, it's been real, it's been nice, it's been real nice. We'll see you all next time. Chelsea, take care.
Thank you. Bye.